Well, hello everybody. I'm going to be doing a Transformers War for Cybertron playthrough. Gonna go back to memory lane. Very much a very strong part of my childhood back in the day. This game came out in 2009 or was it 2011? But it's very much a game that I very much hold dearly to my heart, and I very much am looking to hopefully play through it just to get the rose tinted glasses, if you can say. Hopefully by this point, hopefully by the end of the year, we'll get the new Transformers Reactivate. So not only is it, I consider it a must to get a playthrough of these classic games, War for Cybertron especially, onto my channel, but also to see how this game holds up over a decade from now. So let's get to it. This will be my first stream of the channel, so hopefully everything's good. I know I will be heard, but not too sure about the audio. Hopefully the game capture is okie dokie. And it's hopefully at half. So hopefully it can be heard. Let me just bump up maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But yes. And as I did put out a survey of which characters I should be playing as, I had Megatron and Starscream, which are, to my surprise, then again, they are one of the most popular characters ever. But, you know, I'm perfectly fine about it. I think I played pretty much this game way too much. So, we are going to go on hard. And we're going to go through this game. So, we're going to start off with Chapter 1. Good old Megatron. Siphoning health from enemies and gives the ability to hover in the air and increase weapon damage. Siphoning health is going to be very useful. I think so for this game, especially on hard. But I've never been a big fan of the hover, especially in multiplayer. You're just a sitting target most of the time. But, you know, let's get right into it. This is just personally my favorite War for Cybertron game. One of my first games I ever played. Well, technically it's not. My first game would be Modern Warfare 3 in terms of multiplayer.
Has ravaged Cybertron, homeworld to the Transformers, for millions of years. Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, recently discovered an ancient power that will give him the edge to win over the hated Autobots. Called Dark Energon, this power remains locked away in an orbital station under the protection of a Sky Commander named Starscream.
Poor guy.
Hold your course! Starscream wouldn't fight with such desperation if the legends weren't true!
Lord Megatron, you're certain it's here?
I am certain, Barricade. And when I find it, the balance of this war with the Autobots will finally tip in my favor. Lord Megatron, stabilizers are failing! Maintain your heading, Brawl. Do not falter.
Sublight engines are offline. Shields at 15%.
Reroute all power to forward guns and thrusters. Full speed ahead. But sir, that's suicide. Any further objections? Ram this warship straight into the heart of that station.
Just suddenly teleports his cannon just to shoot him.
To have survived that Megatron.
The thing I've noticed about this Megatron is that he is I see you guys in chat. Hello Steven, hello Brandon. But the thing I noticed about this Megatron is that he is super like old school villain, I kill my own soldiers type of thing. It's something that we don't usually see nowadays, especially with Spark, him being a good guy, an ally, so to speak. So it's very much a bit of a whiplash when I come back to this game just to test out all of the equipment and then realize that, oh my goodness, This Megatron is ruthless and basically a maniac, which goes into For Cybertron.
Lord Megatron, the ship's reactor core is failing. Explosion imminent.
Move, Decepticons! Double time!
The core's about to detonate.
Room 2003.
Go, go, go!
Is that a movie or a show?
It's falling apart.
That does not sound familiar to me. I'm sorry, Steve.
Megatron, this way. Over here.
I am Starscream, and I have protected my station for over 1,000 years.
I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. This space station is Decepticon property. Surrender immediately.
Whoever you are, you've traveled a long way just to meet your doom.
I will admit, this Starscream design is not my favorite. He looks kind of fat. He looks like a chunky boy, and I think it's because of his arms. His arms look too tiny. So, I always consider Starscream as chunky Starscream. And I'm not trying to make it 2003. I might want to check that out then. Always looking to do watch some different movies.
Hail, Lord Megatron!
Do not speak unless spoken to.
Definitely, yeah. Animated is really good. He could be a bit more colorful. The colors on him are a bit darker, but I get what they were trying to do with the Decepticons in that show. But this design of Starscream, like, they fix it a bit better in For Cybertron, making his colors a bit more, well, defined. Because in this game, like, the capture is a bit darker, but even with, like, my actual game, which is a bit lighter on this television screen, his colors don't really stand out. And I think that's another problem with back in the PS3 and 360 era. Just the colors don't really pop out. It's a lot of brown and gray. This game is still beautiful even now, but even then it still kind of doesn't escape it.
Oh, look, the welcome wagon.
But yeah, Starscream. Did you know Starscream was actually going to be revived later on? Like, the plan is to bring back Starscream, and of all the people to do it, it will be Slipstream would come in to help him. He was going to be revived, which is, I find very interesting. And it just shows that you can't keep Starscream dead. Man, I remember Animated was coming out around the same time.
Fat chance. We can use that crane to reach the
Yeah, this Starscream voice is pretty good too.
ambush there.
I very much like it. This is like,
Bind the controls to that
I guess you can say this is my
service
first introduction because, lo and behold, the thing that got me into the Star Wars no, not Star Wars, but the Transformers franchise is the
arm. Are your audio receptors damaged?
was the movie.
I said
And
bind
so
the
Starscream
controls
didn't really
to
talk
that
so
arm.
much, but this game is where I got a lot of my love for it. So this is the Starscream voice I was first introduced to. Oh, Steven, about that. So I was looking through the video and I written out the script and my opinions about like what the person gets wrong about the review and what he gets right, and not too much about what he gets right. I think I make a point in the video that he only gets one thing right about the movie, and I'm just sitting there like, woo, it's a victory. Yeah. So with the video, like the thing that I noticed as I'm editing it, so I got through the first 10 minutes, I got the full first bit of the video started up, like in a skeleton form. Good old first like 10 minutes, and it's already 30 minutes. So the first 10 minutes of that video, I've already made into 30 minutes of like video, 20 minutes of it commentary already. So I think what I'm gonna do is finish up the editing, which hopefully I want to get done by the end of February. And so I want to get a video, part 1. So I guess you're gonna get your most out of me with that suggestion for that video. Get 3 parts to really explain my opinions of that video. So just, gonna get, the first part is gonna be 30 minutes at least. And I've just gotten the skeleton, I got the recording done, I just need to fill out everything else about it. In terms of like, my opinions, visuals. So, plan is to get it done by February, hopefully. So, hopefully trying to get, you know, stuff to you guys. Stream this game in preparation for Transformers Reactivate, so we know how this game was before with no rose-tinted grasses, and then be able to fairly judge Transformers Reactivate when it properly releases, hopefully by the end of this year. But yes, I plan to get the video out by the end of February. That hopefully answers your question, Steven. But going back to Starscream, originally they were planning to kill Starscream. Well, obviously they killed him off in the old '86 movie, but they didn't think it would be that popular. Or at least have such staying power to the point where they have to bring him back, so that's why they vaporized the poor boy. And so since he's such a fan favorite, they had to, like, you know, he's vaporized, so the best they can do is turn him into a ghost. Look at him. Look at that chest. It's just a little too outward. He's a bit chunky boy. Then again, he's been at this station for 1,000 years, so I don't really blame him for losing himself a bit. But that's something I liked about the hologram. When I was testing out the equipment, hologram follows you slowly. It's not exact, but it's slow enough to give off the impression of old machinery. But yeah, Starscream died back in the original G1, and that was supposed to be it, but they then brought him back, revived him, and then they don't bring him back at all for the rest of the series. Because he's kind of funny, actually. So he's still, in terms of G1 continuity with television stuff, he's still flying around out there in space after Unicorn just threw him out there. So that just very much cements how Starscream is just such a fan favorite, such a popular character. And it's probably why, I don't know about any of you, but after Dark of the Moon, when they killed off pretty much all the Decepticons and then they tried to go with a 4th or 5th movie, like, a lot of the movie was missing. Not having Starscream or Soundwave or Shockwave, but a lot of the lost stuff. And then barely bringing in Megatron. And Megatron got dirty in those movies. He was freaking awesome in the first movie, but then he just... Poor guy. He's just liquidated in the secondary. Yes. And I think they mention it in this game, or at least in the For Cybertron. I saw an animation recently of just that scene of Octane, like mid-transformation, just screaming in terror. Oh man, I remember that. He just looks so scared. It's a little trick to get this overshield. Yes, I remember that scene. But yeah, Starscream is one of, if not one of the most popular characters. Like Bumblebee, they kind of had to bring her back out. Bumblebee wasn't very much used during the early 2000s before the movie, but now he's the cash cow of the franchise. But Starscream has always been a very consistent character that everybody loved. So yeah, even in animated, they plan to just bring him back, just revive him again. But I like how they try to explain how he just keeps coming back. Oh, let's get back on the turret. I misclicked there. But yeah, Starscream is very much a fan favorite, and it's always interesting to see how they try to justify not killing him off. Oh man, I may have to rewatch the original series. I've seen season 1 and 2, but season 3 I kind of bailed out on. It's one of the few times when I bailed out on a TV show. I usually stick through a television show, like even stuff that has like bad endings, like Lost. But I remember it was in season 3 when I was fully trying to watch through Transformers, the original show. I remember it was an episode because I already know. Yes, there was a part in the video that I remember like talking about where the video is Lyndon Lavell's review of Bumblebee, and so he's like complaining about why Bumblebee scans the Camaro, and I remember really looking at it and thinking, you know, it's 50-50. Yes, I do remember that. It's amazing that company is still up. It would be interesting to see more anime, if you know what I mean, anime Transformers shows and stuff. But I have the 4K release of the original movie, of the 1986 one, the recent 4K one. So I was quite surprised when I saw the Tully animation logo right in the beginning, and I'm like, oh shit. But it makes sense because, if you guys don't know, Transformers has origins to Japan. The original story goes is that Transformers were originally just toys being sold in Japan, and so Hasbro, a couple people at Hasbro looked at it and go, you know what? Let's sell these toys to Americans, to the West. Let's get the rights to it, and then add in a story so that kids can get invested into it. Because recently the laws were changed, so now you can have television shows to sell toys, and it really did change right around that time. So it does not surprise me that Toei did do the animation for it. And it was back in the time when the animation was really good, back before we really went from paper and pencil and then moved into actual just computers. So I really do adore the animation, especially the Unicorn, like early scene. Just the landscape shot of just how big Unicorn is. Yeah, did you see the recent Dragon Ball Super movie? I did watch that. I liked how it focused on Gohan and Piccolo, finally giving them the power boost to finally be relevant. I haven't seen the One Piece movie though. I haven't heard too many things about it, but I am interested in playing the Shadows. Oh, Jetfire. But I am interested in playing the One Piece game, especially since it's more standalone.
My name is Jetfire. I'm not here to fight.
That makes one of us. Speak your piece.
Oh, Steve, that's just
quickly.
easy. That's like easy.
I've seen the horrors of what Dark Energon can do, Megatron. It is not to be trifled
There's a
with.
lot of stuff that's better than the sequel trilogy. Let's be completely honest.
It would be disaster.
You cannot frighten me, Jetfire. I will
Even the
use
freaking
Dark
Revenge of the
Energon
Fallen has
at
better
my
lighting.
please.
I would say, even with, because if you guys haven't seen it, like, the YouTuber model goes through really in depth how bad those movies are, the sequel trilogy.
Dark Energon.
And me just watching through Revenge of the Fallen, which had a lot of hindrances. A lot of hindrances is with Revenge of the Fallen, and it's very interesting because that the game, well, the movie is just lush because of the writer strike back in 2009, and then so forth. It's it still has a good couple of narrative beats, like the dad like not caring about Sam going to college, and then toward the climax of the movie in Egypt, he really cares about him and doesn't want him to possibly die in it. And I love that. It's something that I'm like, oh shit, there's actually like through lines and effort. Like freaking Michael Bay is actually able to write into it.
Scans indicate that Starscream has locked down biological routes to the Dark Energon reactor.
And we're fresh out of Star Cruisers to tunnel our way.
Quiet.
Bear
There
cake
must be another
sassiness is so
access
funny.
point. We have to reach the station's next pod.
Megatron, I have located a nearby...
Don't be afraid to tell me if the audio for the game is bad. I know, like, I'm talking strongly to be heard, but I'm not too sure if the audio can be fully heard, if you know what I mean. That's my biggest worry. Hopefully it's
We have no
at
time
a
to
little
waste.
over half, but it should be fine, if you know what I mean. I still have this. Oh, jeez. Whoops. Okay. But yeah, very strong character. Cell from Dragon Ball, especially with the Team 4 Stars abridged version of Cell. He's a really fun just character. He may be a little OP in knowing every technique that a lot of VM characters have, but that's just
I think I'm going
a little
offline.
side effect. I'm not gonna
Soldiers
dock
are
it on the
pretty
character,
banged
but
up.
In terms of One Piece, I do not know a lot about One Piece. I know that series is a long-running series, and I did go to Anime LA to see the actual, like, meet the actual creator of them, because I went to a, what do you call it? Like, a meeting where he was just talking with people. I didn't meet him personally face-to-face, but I did hear what he had to say about just the anime industry and One Piece in general. And it was fun because he had other people in it there to be interviewed on stage, and so he was drawing. Yeah, that's true. Sam gets a bad rap, but it's kind of forgivable. I learned to like appreciate him more, especially with the other videos I did. But yeah, when I went to Anime LA, like he was drawing like Luffy and other characters from One Piece as other people were being interviewed. It was actually pretty fun to watch. So it was nice to see him like in the flesh, even if I wasn't able to like shake his hand, if you know what I mean. But in terms of like, Charlie is definitely the superior one, and I have a feeling that the new protagonist in the new Rise of the Beast movie is going to be better, because from what they've learned from Charlie is that give him something to do, make him a mechanic, make him have a connection to them, which was missing in the original movies. They wanted to get too plucky everyday boy, if you know what I mean, because that was the original like conception of it. Because learning about the original Transformers movie, they originally just wanted the everyday man meeting his car, because Steven Spielberg, he did E.T., so it makes sense that he would want to replicate that. Oof. Oops. But yeah, definitely Charlie is the better character. Sam gets a bad rap. If you look past the acting with Sam just yelling Optimus all the time, the character writing-wise, I think is pretty strong. It may not be well executed, but I still think Sam is still like a good character, because from what his character arc in it. And to be honest, Charlie is a bit better, especially with the focus and with the Transformers now, treating them as like people. And I have a feeling that we're going to get a lot of that in the new Rise of the Beast movie. They finally are nailing human characters better, which is nice to see. And I have no worries about the human characters in the next movie. And I think the real bigger question is, will Charlie or this new character be who's going to be better? I'm interested in seeing, like, oh, where did it go? Where'd it go? They did not move. Oh well. Death and destruction awaits me. Yeah, I am more than open with trying out stuff. It's just that time constraints, you know? Like, One Piece is a big asking commitment, so that's why I look at the recent game, the recent One Piece game, and think, oh, you know, that seems right up my alley. It's pretty much standalone, very much for newcomers, and it's going to be its own story, so I don't need to, like, catch up with it. It would be nice to catch up with it to, like, give context to the characters and everything, but I'm pretty sure little, like, character synopsises will satisfy me. But, you know, I'm kind of trying, I haven't reviewed yet, but I'm trying to go to Anime LA. I do live in California, so it won't be too hard of an ask to go to Anime LA. Not Anime LA, but, you know, TF Nation in March, so that's my plan. So I gotta hold off on possibly buying a One Piece game and playing it for stream.
Exactly what I was looking for.
That's a freaking missile. This is stupid. Jeez. Come on. Yeah, with a lot of the more popular animes, I notice that it's a safe bet just to watch the English dub. They do put a lot of work into it. But when it comes to like anything else other than the mainstays like Dragon Ball and One Piece, I'm like more inclined for the Japanese dub. Because me personally, the Japanese dub has a lot of raw emotion that I think is missing when it goes into different translations, you know. But you know, that's just me. I do would rather get the Japanese dub. I turned that on. Okay, yeah. Oh, it was still on. My siphon was still on. Ooh. But yes, I do very much prefer the Japanese, but sometimes I give exceptions depending on like who's going to be voicing it. I've just been falling out with anime usually. I've been able to catch like the recent Dragon Ball movies, but not too much because I've been working on the channel, trying to lead up on other stuff. When I went to Anime LA, I did get the first volume of Berserk, and then the first volume 1, 2, and 3 book of Evangelion. So I've been looking forward to reading that. It's just that trying to find the time, because I'm trying to get on a daily schedule. I want to get the video that Steve requested being made. I want to get that done, along with getting shorts like every weekly, just so that the channel has like activity, because not just get you guys something for
This
YouTube,
entire
but
station was created over 10,000 years ago. Much
Toy
of its
Story 4
technology
and
is
the sequel
antiquated
trilogy.
and inefficient. I look forward to updating.
yeah, I need this.
This will channel my rage.
Toy Story 4, let's see. Toy Story 4 made Woody a simp, and it made Buzz Lightyear an idiot. It just regressed him, when it should be that they should progress the character. Oh, well, move. Oh, there's something about that.
In the presence of Megatron.
Die. Come on, Autobots. Fall over. There we go. So, I'm gonna... Well, we're comparing 3 movies to 1 movie. Oh, okay, stop it. Oh, no. Die this way. Okay, I did not expect the explosion to reach that, but... Health, 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 health. Move, ball. Move. But, yeah, I'm gonna say... I think you're right. I think they're equally as damaging to the universe. And I just don't understand why they made Toy Story 4 the way they did, because Toy Story 4, they had Woody separate from Buzz. And so now you're not... I'm pretty sure you know about, like, I know about a bunch of these shorts that they have take place after Toy Story 3, where they're just hanging out with other toys, having little adventures. Like these little shorts that they make. And it seems strange how they made Toy Story 4 so that they can't do that no more. They can't have Woody in it. So it kind of shoots him in the foot and just like prolonging the Toy Story IP and just like making dozens and dozens of shorts. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, and kind of annoyed by that. Same with the sequel trilogy though. So I think you're right, Steve. I think both are really bad. But, oh. Come on, open up a shield. Okay, we got him. Come here, come here. But yeah, I really think about it. Both the sequel trilogy and... Oh, I don't have any grenades. But both the sequel trilogy... I want you dead first. Come on. Come on, get out. There we go. Missiles. But yeah, both the sequel trilogy and Toy Story 4 just ruins any potential you can have in putting more stories into that universe. Which I find very interesting of a decision that they allow. Like, Force Awakens has a lot of destruction of the universe, but you can still work with something. The Last Jedi completely destroyed it. Like, you can't do anything with that. And you can't really blame J.J. Abrams with, like, not making a good sequel. It's like, I mean, what do you have to work with? Oh, I need that help. Oh, I need my siphon up. Yeah, I'm not trying to pull out excuses, but this PS3 controller is not good with the aiming. It is either the controller that makes me move constantly, or the controller that has a little problems with the aiming. But yeah, the sequel trilogy, there's a reason why they don't have anything past the sequel trilogy. They only do stuff that's in between episode 3 and 4. I think everything is between episode 3 and 4 except the recent like Tales of a Jedi, which has some stuff that depicts Count Dooku, which is really good, by the way. Hopefully I can get at least a short review of those episodes, because those episodes of Count Dooku really help like show that Count Dooku was not just this crazy masochist that he was in the first couple seasons. Oh. Come on, dude. Come here. Come here. Yeah, Transformers Devastation is pretty much a fighting, pretty much a what is it called? You know, the genre of that, kind of like DMC. And then like Transformers Devastation is made by Platinum, so they've done Nier Automata, so it does make sense why that game Transformers Devastation is as good as it is. And I really do hope they do have a sequel. It's just that the problem is that Hasbro is not being good with their licensing. They don't lend it out as much anymore. The Phantom Menace is a bit 50-50 for me. Like, I do enjoy, like, say, whenever Marvel and his podcast, with his, like, mates, goes through, like, projects of, like, Star Wars and stuff. Yeah, hack and slash, that's it. But it makes sense that Platinum Games, like, did as well as they did. So the game is pretty short and easy to complete. Maybe I do have it on the PlayStation 4, so I could probably crank that out in like 4 to 5 hours, one stream. So that's something potential after I go through this game in For Cybertron. So yeah, hack and slash. I do not know why I was going blank on that. Transformers Devastation was a pretty good game. I did really enjoy it for what it is.
Those fans will split you in two.
But the Phantom Menace, I'm 50-50 on. Oh. I'm stuck. Oh my god, I got stuck off of that. Oh my god, that's funny. But Phantom Menace, I'm pretty 50-50 on. I do like how they point out like the flaws of it, but they can get a little overboard with the jokes and stuff. And because I'm more, well, true to my channel name, analytical. Okay, I'll stop. But I'm more analytical, so I very much like the focus on the actual. That's how I try to make my videos. The focus is on the actual like discussion, the arguments of media. So I don't really like going into like name teasing. That's very much a thing that I very much love when the turnout of my videos about Memento is that it was very focused on the criticism and what arguments he's trying to present, and not any like teasing or name calling or just calling him stupid. Overlord? Overlord. Oh, that's right, Overlord from the old Overlord in the comics is definitely overshared. But yeah, Overlord, definitely a Nazi. I think he's not as Nazi as Torn and Megatron when he's like super evil, but they're up there. Yeah, it's a shame how the due to Hasbro not renewing the licenses, that the Transformers Devastation, you can't buy it. You have to grab a disc, hopefully from from retail, which is annoying, and I very much hate that. Hopefully, because now we have the comics. You can't get the comics online, which sucks because I'm trying to read through all the comics and now I can't. So that's annoying. So can't read through any of the IDW comics. You gotta get them physical now. Can't get any of the new 2019 one, which I read through Volume 1 and a little bit of Volume 2 of the 2019 continuity. And it's not as it's a slow boil. It's not as eventful as the original IDW comics, but I'm intrigued by it. It's nice world building. But when we're talking about the licenses, Transformers Devastation you can't buy, like on the PlayStation Store or Steam. You can't buy War for Cybertron or Fall Cybertron either, and you can't buy the comics either. So hopefully Hasbro gets, you know, fixes that problem, because this hasn't been the first time the Marvel first had the rights to the Transformers comics. So then they went over to IDW, and then they managed to do a remaster of the original comics that came out during the original Generation 1 story. So I'm hoping that whoever gets the IP of Transformers, they do that. Yeah, I very much advise that you do get... Oh, I got stuck. But I very much do advise that you do keep an eye out for physical copies of stuff. Like, double check to make sure that you can't, if you can get it on, like, the PlayStation Store. Come here. But very likely not, because you gotta preserve media as much as the world is trying to be digital. Like, all these like IPs, like you can't access it, and censoring of like episodes being out of shells, it's annoying. And so it's much more paramount to keep an eye out, make sure that if you have the money, you like, you know, because it can't be that much. It's gotta be like a couple dollars, like 10 to 15. Oh, that's good. That's good. Because you can at least re-download it, which is going to be the case for me. I can re-download it on my PS4. So that's... So if I am able to stream, if I will stream it, eventually, I will just play it through PlayStation because I already have it. Oof. Oof. That is what we call God... Well, a higher being telling you to buy it. Everything lines up, and you just like, sometimes you gotta take it. But of course, money is a factor, of course.
Will be mine.
What makes you think you can control the Dark Energon, what no one else has ever been able to?
Only the strong are worthy of such a weapon, Barricade. I am the strongest.
I just love the slow boil of rage at Barricade being a snarky. When it comes
Cybertron.
When it comes to the world building,
Flyers inbound.
The world building of Bumblebee, you gotta remember that it originally was going to be a spin-off of the rest of the Michael Bay films. It was going to be originally a spin-off of the other Michael Bay films, and then they kind of hastily put together as its own like soft reboot. Oh, that's not good. Hold still. Oh, there we go. It takes 2 shots to kill these guys? Damn, that's tanky. Okay. There we go. Hold still. There we go. Alright, hold still. There we go. But yeah, in terms of world building, I would say Bumblebee, even with the hindrances of having to change it, like mid-development, so that it can be more of a spin-off, not a spin-off, but a soft reboot. And so it's not too hard to be better than the sequels in terms of world building, even with the restrictions of Bumblebee. So that's an obvious thing. And I don't really blame Bumblebee too much, because right now the director, Stephen Cable Jr. for Rise of the Beast, says that this is our us diving into a new timeline, and it makes sense because Bumblebee had a lot working against it. So Rise of the Beast is a nice little like, we're starting off from scratch sort of thing. So definitely Bumblebee, man. On Prime difficulty? Yeah, probably. I'm not that bad of a gamer. As you can see, I'm playing on hard, so it's not a hard ask. Unless Prime is like the hardest difficulty, and I'm not that good at hack and slash. Sadly. But yeah, I'll try to go as hard as I possibly can. Like, even now, I'm on the hard difficulty. And I've only died once. So far. So far. Come here. There we go. Okay, where are they? There you go. Ooh, come here. I think that's one of the, well, when it comes to... Well, Bumblebee wasn't crazily advertised as its own, like, starting off anew. So I don't blame him for not knowing that. But there's, as I say in the video I'm making, responding to that video, that there's a lot of hints, especially if you compare it to the other movies, there's a lot of hints suggesting that this is completely new. And when we're talking about, like, Transformers, they're not going to change radically between movies because they don't age like humans. So, yeah, I can see why people don't see it as... People still see it as a prequel of the original Michael Bay movies because it's not heavily advertised as something completely different. But I do see, like, come on, there's a lot of, like, differences in those movies that suggest otherwise. Especially the size of Bumblebee. He is tiny in the Bumblebee movie compared to his Michael Bay verse counterpart. He is really tiny, which is accurate to the original G1 Bumblebee, but he is just really tiny. It's like, this can't be the same. So yes, I can see 50-50, but I don't expect after Rise of the Beast for people to, like, have questions about it anymore. Yeah, when it comes to the IDW comics, they try to explain that Transformers are practically immortal. But then to, like, counteract it is like, okay, they're constantly warring with each other and dying. And there's the one storyline where in More Than Meets the Eye, yeah, they can't die from old age. The only time they introduce something that can kill you, so to speak, from, like, slow degradation, I can't say that word, slow degradation of, like, yourself, like how humans are, was when Tailgate was diseased and slowly dying in the one storyline for More Than Meets the Eye. That's, like, the closest to old age, death from old age that you can get for Transformers. But in that continuity, they actually finds a way to cure it, so it's not really too much of a factor anymore. But in terms of age, yeah, I think that's something that is both a blessing and a curse. Because usually in, say, like, live action, like, when you're discussing, like, television shows or, like, movies with humans, you kind of are limited to, like, the lifespan of a human. So you can't have, like, oh, I went into the force and trained for 30 days, 30 years, and it's like, well, he's, given the range of age, I don't think, I legit thought that was going to give me shards. Ooh. Come here. I thought that was going to give me shards. I didn't realize that was an explosion. Come here, come here, come here. Come here, big boy. There we go. Oh, okay. There's more. But, yeah, that's one advantage with Transformers is that since they're robots and practically can live forever, unless you kill them, of course, but since they practically can live forever, you can have, like, oh, this person was exiled for 100 years type noise in terms of your storytelling, which is much more convenient in terms of storytelling.
Those fools had no idea how to control it. I'll not make the same
Megatron
mistake.
being the optimist, you're thinking he can control it, which he's right, but just imagine if he wasn't. It just kills him outright. Yes. Thank you. Alright, this will be easier. But yeah, in terms of, like, Transformers and forms of storytelling, it's a lot easier in terms of, like, not having to worry about age restrictions. Like, that's why I very much prefer having stories in animated. Come here. Oh. That's why I prefer stuff in. Ah, Jesus. Prefer stuff in animated. Come here. I'm not very much too head over heels Yeah, that's... You know what's interesting? Like, shout out to the original 2007 movie. But it was original, like the whole line of Optimus saying, I wish it didn't have to come to this, brother, when like Megatron is dead at the end of the movie. That was just like something that they just like didn't mean too much by, you know, brothers as like, as the same species type of thing. But not like brothers as in we like knew each other. So that just spawned this whole like idea of them, Optimus and Megatron being like knowing each other before the war. So shout out to the movies for giving us that. That? Given... Yeah. I do wish that they do explore that more in media. I do like Transformers, Cyberverse, and like showing a lot actually that. Like them like at a table in a bar just talking to each other. I do like that much. I do like that about that series. It's one of the first times we do see it, besides in flashback, like in Transformers Prime. But I do appreciate that story point. It makes it like much more tragic, like the whole archetype of these were once people that were once knew each other. Steve, those are such softball, like obvious things. I would say Sam is better than Blade from Skywalker. Oh no, you called away Skywalker. Oof. Oof. We don't give her that. I'm not giving her that. She's Rey Palpatine or just Rey. I'm not giving her that whole Skywalker business. No. I don't feel she earned it. I do not believe she is Skywalker. Especially, just think about it. She does not treat them very well. Like, she had a decent relationship with Han. In fact, it would be more appropriate if she named herself Rey Solo, because she actually had a strong like build-up of an actual like father-daughter relationship. Yeah, we don't do that here. we don't recognize Rey as a Skywalker. We don't do that here. But yeah, Sam is definitely better. I do like the idea of Orion Pax and Megatronus being friends. I do like the idea of the more expansion of Megatronus or the Fallen of just as characters. Of Megatronus being... I haven't fully read through it yet, but he was deceived by Legion Maximus, who just looks like Loki. And I do like that aspect of the idea, I don't know if it's executed, but the idea of, oh, people look at Megatronus as the original Decepticon, the one who went against the norm to like do what is right, but in reality he was tricked and he's called the Fallen for a reason. He's ashamed of it, which is why I do not like Megatronus in Robots in Disguise. He is not just a generic villain. He's very much tricked into that. What the hell? What are you doing here? But yeah. I think in my like own storyline of Transformers, I would have it where, yeah, I have been reading. I got through like the first half of the one of the Transformers books that's tied into the Alliance continuity. Which, if you guys don't know, the Alliance continuity is War and Fall of Cybertron, Transformers Prime, 2015, Robots in Disguise, and then a couple comics specifically tied to it, and then 3 books. And the first book has, like, you start to see how Optimus, how Optimus met Megatron, how he learned about Megatron, and how they, like, became friends. Which I like. I'm enjoying the book. And in terms of my version of the story, I would have it where Orion Pax is trying to hide his, like, identity, so he takes on the name of Optimus. And that makes him like I guess you could say a better like person in terms of like nobody knows his true self, so he can like because the whole idea of a dystopian Cybertron, just like pursuing everybody, and the idea is like using information to like get, I guess we can call cancel somebody. And so Optimus hides his identity, so technically the government has nothing on him, so he can freely go up against it, and they got no ammo for him. So if I was gonna make a Transformers story, I would have that aspect of Optimus Alliance Pax taking on the name of, well, Optimus to hide his identity from a corrupt government. But that's my little idea. That was pretty... You know what's funny about that show is that all the specials, like when Starscream returning is the best. Like his design in that and the voice of Steve Blum. Oh, I can't wait to have Steve Blum in Earthspark, but like the whole, like all the specials that they had were actually solid, but every other episode around it like was bad. Which is kind of funny to think about. What is it? Oh, hi. Grenade spam! Grenade spam! Okay, someone died. Oh, both of them are dead. You know what's funny is that these guys don't get like a big old ceremony of like showing up. The Blues with the shields, they get a big old like... Oh, Jesus. They get a big old ceremony of like them showing up and stuff, but not these big Blues. They just show up, like walk up. It's just kind of funny. I'm like, huh. No fanfare for them. But yeah, Megatron, like, Robots in Disguise is like, it is mostly shit, but some of it is okay. Like the Starscream showing up, and then all the specials look good. And it was nice to see Windblade be in the television show for the first time. Come here. Look at that. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I need more. Stop shooting me. Dang it. I was trying to get my health back. But yeah, Robots in Disguise, it was definitely not something that you should follow up with Transformers Prime, especially now. And there's a reason why they didn't continue with that storyline and just started, hey, everybody can do their own thing now. And then meanwhile there's Robot Academy, where it's like, oh yeah, you can still do stuff in that universe. And make a horrendous Optimus design. What the hell were they thinking in Robots Academy? I wouldn't say that. I think Robots in Disguise is a bit better because at least they don't ruin too many characters. Because Grimlock in that show is definitely a different Grimlock. So Grimlock, as we know him in For Cybertron, is intact. But a lot of the other aspects of Cybertronian culture is still intact.
What? This isn't possible. No. No one can control Dark Energon. It dominates and destroys everything it touches.
Megatron legit controls it through sheer willpower. That is just like a gift from heaven, like just like giving us Steve Blum. Like I did not expect Steve Blum to return as Starscream. That's just like recognition that like the thing that I've noticed with Transformers in comparison to like say as Steve is talking about Star Wars is that Transformers is like a very like I guess you could say niche, so that a lot of the people like signing on to do these projects very much have a strong love for it and a good understanding of it. And also, I think a major part of it is that it's not super mainstream. Like a lot of these so-called people who would ruin such stuff, like say in the case of Star Wars and stuff, aren't interested in giant robots. So
Dark Energon is mine to command. Through my will alone shall Cybertron be restored.
It's too unstable, Megatron.
you can say that Transformers is being made by fans, and that's probably why we got Steve Blum.
The way you do, and I will serve you.
And what could you possibly offer me? that I cannot simply take.
The supply of Dark Energon aboard this station is nearly exhausted. I know how to manufacture more. There was once an Energon bridge that fed this station directly. I know how to reconnect it.
Traitor!
I like how he runs now and not just like realize as he's talking about that he might be like switching sides by now.
Lord Megatron.
No, I want the Autobots' leader to know his doom approaches. Once we have this station online, nothing can
But yeah,
stop
Weapons
me.
in Disguise I do
Now
not think
go.
is as bad as
Find
the
this Energon
sequel
bridge
trilogy.
and reactivate
Because
it
there's
for
like
your
a lot of
new
characters that
best.
aren't in the show that aren't ruined. A lot of the characters are just made a little stupid but aren't like immoral like a lot of the characters are in the sequels. But yeah, I would have to disagree with that, Steve. We've been agreeing a lot, but I would say Weapons in Disguise isn't as bad. It's bad, but it's not as bad. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. As you mentioned that, I went to an anime con to like just because I want to go to cons, and one of the people that was there is Richard Epcar, and I was able to get his signature. So I got a signature from the booklet that comes with you going to the con, and that was free. But I spent like a good like $40 to actually get his signature. And since Richard is also the voice of Raiden, I just was able to get like his name signed, addressed to my name. So I actually did meet Richard Epcar, and it was pretty cool because he voices freaking Raiden, and that's how I like most remember him for. And he was a fun guy. He was very nice. He's done a lot of roles, but yeah, I got his signature. I did meet him at a con. So I wasn't able to meet the guy who was the creator of One Piece, Akira Toriyama, I think it was. The guy who works on One Piece. But Richard Epcar, I did meet personally and got a signature from him.
Themselves worthy of the Decepticon name.
Funny as you mentioned that.
Starscream and his minions fly to Cybertron. There, they must reconnect the Energon bridge that will enable Megatron to manufacture more Dark Energon and conquer the Autobots once and for all.
But yes, I do very much believe that us Transformers fans are lucky that we've gotten a lot of people working on these Transformers projects as true fans, like especially like as a franchise. It like slowly evolves. Like you have a lot more. It's not just a boys franchise anymore. Transformers has very much changed into being much more widely accepted between multiple like, groups, demographics, different communities, boys, girls, every sentient living thing imaginable. So, definitely, Transformers has transformed over the years. So, it is very nice to see that as it like changes and people have their own interpretations of why they love Transformers. It's nice to see that it still like brings out quality work, and it's kind of nice because Transformers as a franchise, we're getting a renaissance of Transformers stuff, even if everything is. Oh hi! Get him away! But even if like everything that comes out from Transformers Reactivate, Rise of a Dark Spark, Earthspark, get him away, get him away. Yeah, I should probably just, because it's like literally above my television. I missed a couple of other artworks that I have in my room. I should probably just send it either, yeah, I think after the stream I'll send it in the, I may have to blow out my real name. Then again, it's a really common name, and I think I've already used my name, my actual name. I don't mind my actual name being known. My last name is a bit unique, so I don't feel like talking about that, but I'll show you it. I will show you it.
To think their measly
In a community
tricks could have
post.
a full star scream.
But yeah, I do look forward to going to TF Nation in March in LA and being able to meet more people, especially with the lineup. There's a lot of different types of people coming across Transformers.
That is machinery.
But yes, I did meet Richard, and I was kind of flustered because this is the first time I ever met like a celebrity. So I'm like, hi. I couldn't hit him with hard-hitting questions. I just, I really appreciate your work. Can you sign this?
Be on high alert. The Decepticons are planning to reactivate the Energon Bridge. This would grant them access to an unstable energy source powerful enough to jeopardize the entire planet. Any Decepticon activity must be reported immediately.
No, I still have the
All
signed
Decepticons
paper
are
there.
to be shot
There's
on
like a little
sight.
like picture of
Say the crime out.
the Leiden, and he signed it for me, and he has it addressed to me. So I don't mind sending a community post showing everybody that. I don't mind that. He has my first name in it, but I don't mind people knowing about my first name. Come on, come here. But yeah, I still have. That's the second time I hit an explosive thinking that it was giving out shards. That's an explosive. Okay.
Circuitry is stinging.
I am so stupid.
Past this thing is impossible.
But yeah, what I mean is talking about the the paper, like the signature from Richard that he signed to me, and it has a picture of Leiden on it because he also voiced Leiden among a lot of other characters. No, it's fine. Tell me if the game audio is a little too loud or if I'm not speaking clearly, because I'm not very much a talker, so sometimes I slow my words. So don't be afraid to tell me if it's like, dude, you're slowing your words. I'm like, okay. I do not mind being told that. I much rather prefer that everybody is understanding me perfectly. Ooh, I can't shoot. Cool. Yeah, so don't be afraid to tell me if the audio or anything if there's any problems with the stream, any buffering or anything. This is my first stream, so hopefully this goes smoothly. I plan to leave it up on the channel. Oh. Ooh, come here. Ah! Dang it. Okay. Come here. Come here. There we go. Ooh. Come here, buddy. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you it. The signature from the old voice actor of Skywalker and Leiden. But yeah. Yes. Robots in Disguise. I do not consider it as bad as the sequels, but it's still pretty bad. It's more classic bad, like, we didn't mean for it to be bad. If anything, I would describe Robots in Disguise as being a show that was only gonna run for like 2 seasons, but they wanted Hasbro wanted 4 seasons, so they had to stretch it out. So you have a lot of like episodes that are just like cannon fodder, just to like fill up the runtime, you know. It's just personally my opinion, because there's still a good amount of good stuff in there. Starscream's return is very good. It is a shame that they killed off the 2 Predacons that were in the Beast Wars movie, the Beast Hunters movie. But despite that unfortunate scene, I think it's still pretty good. Oh no, sure, that's fine. Don't feel free to come and go as you please. The video will be up. Oh, Thundercracker. The video will be up after I finish. I plan to just leave this up as archive on the channel. I would agree, Archon? I would agree. He had a good concept. There was good couple qualities, like Bumblebee being a leader, and then like I don't mind too much Optimus being brought back. Can't lock on. But I don't mind Optimus being brought back. I do like the aspect of them, of the two of them. Like, there's this one episode I wish I wanted to talk about one day, where Optimus is like doing like training session and learning to focus on the mission instead of focusing on civilians. I would like to talk about that because I really do like that, because it doesn't deconstruct the character, but it shows like the reasonable flaw of that character type. And it was nicely done because it doesn't, I don't feel it destroys Optimus. I feel it like is very like close understanding and giving him a reasonable flaw. But yeah, Robots in Disguise is a good concept, like a good couple concepts, a lot of good ideas. It's just that the execution was, I do very much feel that it was a lot of fluff, if you know what I mean. A lot of episodes that don't go nowhere that you could just completely skip. And I very much feel like the poor showrunners had to do it because they were ordered to deliver that many episodes, and you kind of run out of steam. So that's how I feel about the entire show. Oh, welcome back, Brendan. But yes, I do very much feel that sequels, I hope that people get more and more understanding that J.J. Abrams is not a good story, is not a good writer. He's a good director. Like, I don't have a problem with his like directing, but in terms of story writing, I have problems, and you very much see that in the sequel trilogy with The Force Awakens and the writing. Which, the problems with that were not entirely. There's a lot of combined effort to make the sequels as bad as they are. You're welcome, Brandon. But in terms of the sequels, there's a lot of contributing factors, and the ones that did not help is J.J. Abrams. The style of writing that he does is not something that I would. The whole mystery box thing, I do not like. Mystery box, to me, is just... oh, just a fancy little, oh, I left it open but didn't, like, don't know where it's going. When in reality, when you're writing, like, even when I try to write stuff, because I have a good old booklet of ideas, and I have the skeleton of it, so I know fully what's going to happen, so to speak. Like, the major story beats. And I feel that's what happened with the prequels, that George Lucas knew the story beats of what he wanted, even as far back as the original trilogy, when he was making those back in the late 80s. I very much feel that he knew what the prequels were going to involve and what's going to happen in them. But in terms of like executing it, the prequels kind of suffered. So in terms of like good concepts but bad execution, prequels, Robots in Disguise, but sequels that all around bad writing just from concept, because they just wanted to do A New Hope, which, you know, the last movies were the prequels, and they're not as good, so they wanted to have the fans like be eased into the whole like Disney doing these movies now. But I think it's like, I think you went too safe, you know. And then in terms of world building, like the whole like Republic, like doing nothing to stop them. And here's a big thing that I never like understood how that makes sense, how it makes sense. But apparently, the First Order were hiding out in the Outer Rim, like slowly building up their forces to be a well like oiled machine of a military. But then they capture like orphans, they like steal children. So how the hell does the Republic not notice that? You have multiple like children being taken to build a big army as the First Order. Like how? Like how does that work? Like you could have gone with the clone idea. Like the thing that I would do in terms of like cloning is that, oh hello, come here. In terms of what I would do is like I would still have Finn, but have it where there are multiple clone templates. So that's why not every Stormtrooper is Finn. So I would have multiple clone templates. So I could still have Finn be his like own character, but sometimes there's like moments where he faces off a Stormtrooper that looks just like him, and there could be dilemma about that. Even including the whole I was a former Stormtrooper type thing. I would categorize mystery boxes as their own thing. Mystery boxes to me says that, oh yeah, I have no idea where this is going, but I just left it open-ended just for funsies. And I would consider like you telling me, oh, I'm gonna have these mystery boxes. I'm like, no. We don't call it here. We don't call that here. All right? We have a skeleton of what we're gonna do. And it's like this. We would call it foreshadowing. Oh no. Oh, I am locked in here. Oh. Snipe me. Oh. Hold up his shield. What a freaking. Oh, I am not a good sniper. There we go. But, did I not hit him? Music in this game or a different game? I am going all over the place in terms of topics, so I am not keeping track. I am so sorry. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, I do consider the game music in this game is pretty lit. A lot of the Transformers music is pretty good. But yeah, mystery boxes, I consider it a dirty word. If you're gonna do a story, I want to, like, because I went to college for a bit and did took a couple film classes, and when we were telling all like just stories that we just made up to pitch, like practice pitching stories, they very much told us that there's no like mystery. You're telling us the full thing. Like you're gonna be looking to us for funding, and us as the studio and producers, we want to know fully what's in store for us. But yeah, in terms of what they teach you at film school, they do not like mystery boxes. Like when you pitch your idea, the last thing they want to hear is, oh, I left this open for later, and it's like, no, they want to hear it. Oh no, these guys, I hate these. It's funny, all the other characters have like introductions, except for the big ones with the giant machine guns.
Yeah. Nope, I didn't see anything.
I should have left you two on the station.
I don't know. I don't have any Terminator figures. I'm not that into Terminator. Like, I've seen Terminator. I've seen 2, Judgment Day, and I've seen Judgment Day. I've read the tie-in Transformers Terminator comic, which I very much find is pretty good. There's a lot of death in that, which they did not hold back, which I kind of like. They straight up killed a lot of people in that freaking. Like at one point, the Terminator like lays some bombs and kills everybody that was left in New York, and it's like, oh my goodness. Oh, come here. There we go. One kill. But in terms of like making, I would just go with the storyline that happens in the comic. Like I do recommend that comic, Transformers, like X Terminator, the comic that came out recently. And it has like one of my favorite designs for the female like Transformers, like RC and this other Transformer who's like the medic. Because well, spoilers, like Ratchet doesn't stay alive for too long, so in terms of like
Another shield generator.
but I would just very much model it kind of like how the comic is. maybe do a little alterations to make it my own, but I think the comic is a very good starting point. Like, because I really do like that comic. I do like the Back to the Future one as well, because I got that comic too because I also got the Gigawatt toy where the DeLorean is a Transformer, and I do like that comic as well. So honestly, like when it comes to like making like a tie-in movie, like something that they a producer talked about when somebody suggested doing the same thing with Transformers and G.I. Joe, is that they don't want to like combine two like possible film franchises, because then now you only have one, you don't have two anymore, and it's kind of hard to like separate the two, because now you just throw them all into one, and now it's like you can't make too much money. But that was back before, like, I remember the quote was back before the MCU really started off making a lot of spin-offs and stuff. So that might change, but then again, the G.I. Joe movies haven't really had a lot of staying power. They weren't lucky enough, I can't believe I'm saying this, they weren't lucky enough to have Michael Bay run it. Michael Bay knows how to sell a movie. Unfortunately, G.I. Joe just can't measure up to the same way. Even though the introduction of G.I. Joe into the IDW comics, I read a good amount of it. There's some pretty good stories. They're not the best, but reading through those, I'm like, yeah, I do like the G.I. Joe characters. Maybe not in my Transformers, which kind of goes into what the producer was talking about, like not like combining your franchises. Possibly the dangers of doing that. Because, hey, I want to see Transformers, or we already complained about the hello, buddy. Come here. No. We already complain about, say, we already do complain about humans taking too much of the spotlight, so I don't think we're gonna get G.I. Joe combined with that, or Terminator, because Terminator is pretty much a dead franchise right now. That's an interesting go around. That will be interesting.
If we destroy them, we can lower the shield.
We'll have it'll be interesting to have because if you're suggesting Shadow be Skynet, then we'll have more personality with Skynet. Like Skynet will have to be an actual character. Oh, I'm running out of ammo. Oh my goodness, I need ammo. Time to look for ammo. Ammo. Where are you? Oh, an overview. I'll get that after I finish these guys. I'm gonna get this. But yeah, that is not a bad idea of having Skynet be just Shadow. Kind of like what they did in Age of Extinction, which they just use as an excuse. I do not know why you would use why would you use Megatron's head to like as the head, like to help you like of your whole like operation. Like that's a bad idea waiting to happen. If it gains sentience again, we're screwed. Age of Extinction is not a good movie. But yeah, I do support that, Steve. Like the idea of Skynet being one of the Decepticons. That will be an interesting turn, because now you have Skynet as an actual, like, more on character, and that has ties to the Transformers.
We have a bridge to activate.
But I do recommend, if you haven't already read, the Transformers tie-in with Terminator, because it does have some of my favorite female Transformer designs. They are some really good designs.
This place gives me the creeps.
What was that other one? What was that? Oh, Hearts of Steel. Those are some good steampunk designs. I freaking love Hearts of Steel.
Incoming! Take cover! Wait! That's not Autobot weaponry. Interesting. I've never seen these life forms before.
Who cares? If they get in
But
my
yeah,
way,
the I would recommend. So yeah, Hearts of Steel. Oh, move out of the way. I forgot they don't attack you, but Hearts of Steel has great steampunk designs, like, because I got the booklet as well for the like the first like story of Hearts of Steel. They have a secondary story, and then they have like a continuation of that story so that the Hearts of Steel characters can be put into the larger IDW universe. I can't.
The Energon Bridge terminal.
Oh shit.
Find a way inside and activate it.
I thought this place was deserted.
We must have tripped the station's automated defenses. Open fire!
Oh, funny thing, these guys don't spawn if you're on normal. I remember that much.
None can resist
But
us.
yeah, Hearts of Steel, I love the steampunk designs. Like Prowl just looks so good. Everybody looks so great in that. I do love me some steampunk. That's probably why I like Transformers more, because Transformers is more the Western style of big giant robots. A lot of the big giant robots in anime, as much as I like them, like the storylines mostly in that, I still gotta admit, they look more like dudes in like suits, you know, fighting. They're too streamlined and look more like a dude in like battle armor, like a Power Ranger armor. Which is not a bad thing, it's just that I prefer the like the bulky look from Western mecha designs that Transformers usually pays homage to. But not too bulky. Like, I think we can all admit that Optimus gets really bulky in For Cybertron. Like, crazy bulky. He's a little too bulky. But yeah, I have greatly enjoyed. It is saddening to see that IDW lose the license. I'm pretty sure I haven't read all the recent like comics that come out. I have read King Grimlock and the Shadow Glass stories, and I thought they were fine. And that's the thing, they're fine. They're not the glory days of the older IDW storyline, but they're still okay. Like Shadow Glass, I have a couple of the comics. I got all the comics of Shadow Glass 1 and 2 on digital, and I reviewed the first two of them. 2 comics of the first one, the first storyline.
Ready to end it? You're about to hear some sonic.
Is it dark again? Are they trying to sneak up on me again? I think so. We got a shotgun in on. Where are you? I think he had too many Energon cookies. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, enough of this.
More cloakers. These guys creep me
Come here.
out.
Come here. Come here.
At least I'm not ugly. Ugly? You and I look the same.
There we go. But yeah. Shadow's head survived? But she blew up! Oh man. This game, the quote-unquote horror elements don't really scare me too much. I grew up with this game. I'm not too scared about this game anymore. Now, if you're talking about horror, like frickin' The Evil Within, Evil Within 2, now that's some good horror games. That one scares the piss out of me.
Do not fail me. You really told him, Starscream.
Silence! Soon the Decepticons will be mine to control, and Megatron will serve me.
Whatever you say,
I like how
Starscream.
the thing that I like about the Seekers in this. Come here. He's not dead yet? Come here. There we go. But the thing I like about the Seekers is that they like tease Starscream, but they're still kind of like loyal in that we're like working for you type of thing. As much as I like Cyberverse, the whole like idea that they're loyal to the point that they like steal the All-Spark and steal like Vector Sigma is like kind of I don't really believe that too much. But I do, but it is kind of funny how they all died. Which is surprising on my part. I'm like, oh, they're not dead, right? Somebody's gonna revive them. Nope, they stay dead. Which is like ridiculous. I'm like, what? They stay dead? What do you mean all of those characters just straight up died? Yeah, I do like... I think the strength about Transformers Prime, Transformers Animated, is Starscream is working on his own. He's working with very little and managing to succeed. And I think that's what I really like about Starscream, is that he can't get leadership, but he's still confident. And it very much helps in, like, narratively why Megatron still keeps him around and doesn't kill him. Like in season 3 of Transformers Prime, they're just talking about like there was the point when the Decepticons decide to kill all the their Predacon project, and so it's the mentality is that, oh, how are we gonna do it? And it's like, oh, Starscream comes up with the idea of having the Autobots destroy it, like lead them there, and then so now Predaking wants to kill the Autobots. So hopefully the Autobots kill Predaking as well, and destroy the Predacons as well. And somebody pointed out in the comments of like a clip of that on YouTube saying that, yeah, this is why Megatron keeps him around, because he knows how to scheme like that. And I think that's a very strong point. He knows how to scheme, and you see that in Transformers Prime. Megatron is more big picture and goes for like schemes that are like very big, a lot of prep time, but they're very devastating. Like the whole like the whole idea of him taking a bunch of Dark Energon and then reviving all the dead on Cybertron to then use it as an invading army is pretty crazy. But Starscream, he's the classic like Saturday morning cartoon villain. He's like a new scheme every week, so to speak. And I kind of like that balance between the two of them. Something I just very much like.
Yes, this will do.
All right. Oh hey! Oh, I can't believe I screwed that up. I lost a bar of health for that. I was trying to be coy. Hi. There we go. I have a hover? I have not been using the hover at all. I remember someone in the comments was saying that, oh, Starscream, like, you can hover and snipe at people. Yep, let me do it. You transform. Come here. I totally forgot about this. Look at him. What the hell is this? Come here. Stop it. How much health? Okay, there's a glitch in this game. I don't know if everyone knows it, but there's a glitch in this game where they can just transform and just negate your melee attack. And they know that a lot, so it becomes really more and more annoying. Because it's as if they oh Jesus! Grenades, man. That worked. Oh jeez. Oh hi. Oh, I think they wanted me to go that way. Ooh, health. Yeah, and isn't it strange how it's only recently with the Netflix series have we really see that play out as like Starscream and Jetfire knowing each other? Don't you find that strange? Oh, sorry, my dad just came in and gave me a margarita. He just comes in quietly and is like, hey, you want some alcohol? I'm like, sure. I'm 25, by the way, just to let you guys know. I'm not too old, but I'm old enough to drink, so don't be too worried. But yes, but it is kind of strange how that plot point of say, Starscream and Jetfire knowing each other.
Nothing will stop me.
It is strange how that is not a concept that is too explored too much, which is a shame, because I do like that aspect of characters knowing each other and becoming opposite sides of it. Even with the, so the Netflix series, they just are rivals that just want to kill each other. But in the, ironically, the Shadow Glass comic, they actually have them as good friends turn enemies, but then they still, like, come through and be friends in the end. I do like that about the Shadow Glass. That's something we don't usually see, and I really like that aspect of Starscream and Jetfire. Yeah, to be fair, the Netflix show is a bit of a downer. Like, a lot of characters die in it. Like, even my friend, there was a point where,
Looks like the
we have to shoot the walls.
these power cells down.
Quickly, destroy the locks.
But the Netflix show, if you're not interested in a story that's really, like, as depressing as, like, say, like, Zack Snyder's version of, like, DC superheroes, then I wouldn't recommend it either. There's a couple of good qualities to it, but I don't blame you in not wanting to see it, because it gets pretty depressing when you look at the kill count and then you really think about what happened, like all the events that have transpired, and really look at it and go, oof, I don't know. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. My memory is like... Yeah. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so there's one more.
Find the other power terminals.
Yeah, the comics, I'm very surprised because I've heard nothing but bad things about recent, like, IDW comics that came out in the recent years, so I'm like, ooh, but I love Shadow Glass, like, the concept of it, but I hope the comic is good, and then, sure enough, it's... Excuse me. But, in terms of, like, the comics, it's actually pretty decent. Like, I was pretty worried because I've seen some horror stories about Marvel and DC comics and where they're going, and I was a bit worried about Transformers. I'm like, oh no. But, you know, from what I can see is that the writer, like the head writer of Shadow Glass, is writers for other Marvel stuff, which I have seen has a lot of, you know, bad things happen to them. Like, a lot of, like, stuff that's like, ugh. It's like, you don't go for comics, and it's the reason why manga is winning in terms of comic sales. Western comics are dying, which is why it makes sense Hasbro...
From activating the full power of the Energon Bridge.
Where are we going? I am not paying attention. I'm going to assume that we all know this story in game well enough so that I can talk over the characters.
Did it! Look at all that power flowing. Onward, Decepticons!
But yeah, Shadow Glass, I am quite happily surprised that it was good. I would say there's a couple of high points of it too. I do very much like...
Then we are close.
Oh, I went into that one.
Bridge must be nearby.
I very much do like it.
Must be inside that machine.
I do recommend it. I have a couple of toys as well. I think it was the it was in the review. I think it was my first review. I showed off a couple of my toys that I had. I hadn't gotten the Steve. You'll have to pay me like hundreds of thousands of dollars to get me to watch that Velma show. There's no way I'm watching that Velma show. I saw the EFAP's coverage of, like, they did a watch along with He Was Supposed to Babyface, and He Was Supposed to Babyface is part of the Phantom Menace, so you might not like him, but the point is that they did a little watch along, and what do I shoot at? Oh. I watched their little watch along, and oof, it is bad. Like, really, really bad. Oh, geez, I remember this. Oh, I am likely gonna die in this level. I totally forgot about this boss fight. Oh, Arkin, no. Oh, you poor boy. Oh no, why would you do that? Yeah, that Velma show, like, I could have done a short, like a short, just like giving out, hey, this is my short review of the first couple episodes, and then I really look at it and I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna take the bullet.
The machine is vulnerable. Focus
I'm not gonna take that bullet, you know, I'm gonna skip out on this. I'm not gonna put myself with that. Yeah, EFAP. It's funny because of Malo. He edited that video and he's talking about he doesn't. I am gonna die. I am so gonna die. How am I not dead yet? Oh no. Okay, we're just gonna keep flying around. But yeah, EFAP's coverage, like, Malo was talking about how he wasn't sure if this can be made into a video because it's just them groaning and like suffering, and he's like surprised by it. It's pretty funny how he's like worried about it being like not being quality, like a quality video, but all anybody wanted to see was them suffer. So he's like, well, you guys just want us to suffer, don't you? Oh, I feel bad for them. They had to watch that.
He means us, you idiot.
Oh my goodness.
Quit blabbing and destroy this nuisance.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. I think this was my strategy last time. First time I played this. Yes. One of them was taken out. Okie. Yeah, I do enjoy EFAP. I know the people don't. I know some people don't agree with him and disagree with him, but the strategy of just giving a show, a television series, a fair shot, really look at what it's telling you, and just judging from that, try to remove all forms of bias as possible to give the product, the entertainment, a fair review. I do like that mentality. I may disagree with them on some things and agree with them on others, but I do like their motto of reviewing stuff, and that's hopefully what I try to do with Transformers. Because the big plan, the big plan, is to one day do a big video just covering like one of the Transformers movies, starting off with the original 2007 movie, which is why I know a good amount of the original 2007 movie, because I'm doing research. And hopefully one day I'll get that big old 3-hour long video of the movie, like discussing its pros and cons. I need help. There's got to be a help around here somewhere. It's gonna kill me. Oh jeez, I'm dead. I totally forgot. I mean, the idea of Velma and Daphne being lesbians is something that even the Venture Brothers joked about. Like, if you haven't seen the Venture Brothers, I highly recommend it. And there's an episode where the like a type of Scooby gang like shows up at the compound and tries to steal stuff. And so it's just super funny to just see these characters in that state. Way funnier in terms of taking the Scooby gang and making them dour, like depressing, like adult versions of themselves. I wouldn't say depressing, actually. I would say that they're adult versions of it. Like Daphne is like Fred is like a control freak who like keeps them like doing adventures. Shaggy is a keeps healing, like the dog is only talking to Shaggy, so everybody thinks he's insane, thinking the dog can talk. And then frickin' Fred gets Shaggy to like go along with all the shenanigans. And they call it Scooby Snacks, but frickin' Fred just uses straight up pills to like get Shaggy to do what he wants. And then Velma is like you can just see like there's this one moment where Velma like puts her hand on Daphne and Daphne's like, oh, not again, and it's like insinuating like some forced sexual play. It's like, ugh.
Evade those beams.
Yeah, they try to sell that show pretty hard, from what I've been noticing. Which is, to be fair, it's the only thing new coming out of HBO Max. They've been destroying everything else on their network, which is annoying. Because I think the original Justice League animated show is not there anymore, by this point at least. And I am very annoyed by that, because I tried to catch up on it, but I got too busy. Okay, I am 1 health. Oh. Give me help, give me help, give me help. Here we go. Oh, no, I'm stuck. Oh, there goes. There goes a lot of it.
Focus fire on those guns.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, final boss of... I am not leaving this stream until I finish this. I am... Yo, I thought this would be easy. Now I'm getting a run for my money on my skill. But don't worry, we'll get to it.
My scans indicate that
We'll get to it. But yeah, they are pushing the Velma show really hard, which I find very funny. Because it's a shit show. Especially, it's funny how Velma is so bad that it's bringing everybody together. Like, it is so bad, like in terms of like being like so bad that some people are considering it like a right-wing psyop to make the like left-leaning people look bad. And it's like, wow. What did you have to do to like get everybody convinced about that? Oh man, I remember growing up with the original Teen Titans. Man, I should check if it's on HBO Max. Maybe I can like, oh geez, but maybe I can rewatch that again. I really did grow up with Teen Titans and loved it. And I'm gonna say it, but initially I hated Teen Titans Go. But then over time I see clips of them and they actually have some funny stuff. Like there was a clip in the like Teen Titans Go movie where Batman is chasing them, and anytime they like try to like get him off their tail, like destroy his Batmobile, destroy his bike, destroy his scooter, destroy his like cut the Batarang car out of the cart, he like pulls out a different like device, and then to the point where he's legit having Alfred like he's on his back. It actually gave me a laugh. And like Starfire was like, oh, no one stops the Batman. I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty funny. Oh my goodness. Come on. Where's the help? Where's the help? Where's the help? Oh no. I'm gonna die. Oh, I did. It's right behind me.
Just a slight delay.
Oh, Thundercracker or Skywarp just died. Oh, that was Skywarp. He just spawned back. Need help. Need help. Need help. Okay, we're good. Oh, here we go again. Come here. Yeah, something that was missing in the For Cybertron game is that they didn't have levels like really focus on vehicle mode. Like there's not a lot of focus on that. Oh, not as much verticality and going through like bottomless pits type thing.
Who cares? Just be ready for it.
Oh, speaking of Floor's lava. Okay. Oh jeez. Oh no. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. I think they the barriers start back up again. Oh, they are. They are. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no, they're moving. Just keep flying, just keep... Whoop. Ah! Dang it. Ugh. I'm gonna do this. Probably 1 or 2 more tries, and then I can do it. I did not expect me to... Oh, don't tell me we start off from the beginning again. Oh no. Oh, thank God, that was a checkpoint. Phew.
Who cares? Just be ready for it.
Evasive maneuvers.
You know what this reminds me of? This level reminds me of the, if you guys remember the original Lego Star Wars, and you're in the gunship, and then you have to destroy the big old, like, ball that's the ball that was trying to, like, fly up in the air, like, go into space and escape. That's what this level reminds me of. You're in this, like, little, like, pew 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 pew. Okay, that was not worth it. Oh, I didn't lose any of them.
Starscream, what is taking so long?
Just a slight delay.
I'm beginning to question your ability
Okay.
to deliver Starscream. Do not disappoint me.
Come on, yep. Come on, show me your core. Oh. Just keep flying. Yeah, the thing that this may be a controversial take, but I consider For Cybertron the better game. Mainly because they're missing levels like this. Just like more about vehicle, like being in a vehicle. A lot of the time, the vehicle sections of For Cybertron is just to get to point A to point B. Yeah, I was young enough to witness the first Lego game, Lego Star Wars, coming out. I was there when as a young kid. I distinctly remember, like, back when Empire Strikes Back, because the video points out JXC's like video about Lego Star Wars points out that the game came out a couple months before Episode 3 came out. So everybody's like first like understanding of what Episode 3 is about was Lego Star Wars, and he makes a point about it, and it's actually quite funny. Just the idea that we learn about Count Dooku's death from a Lego game. But yeah, I had the first Lego Star Wars back on the PS2. I have a couple Lego games, like I think I have Lego Marvel Studios 2, and then I have Lego I have a bunch of Lego games, so that could be options for streams, because I will like to stream, well, possibly weekly, just to deliver content to you guys as I work on the videos. Yeah. Playing through those old Lego Star Wars games is not out of possibility. I do enjoy them.
Now I can introduce Dark Energon into the planet's core. And as it spreads throughout Cybertron, my power shall travel with it.
Entrance to the planet core is heavily shielded.
I do remember the
I will acquire
if you have the save file of the first Lego Star Wars, you can have all the characters that you unlocked from that game over to the Lego Star Wars 2, which is pretty cool. So you can, like, as long as you pick them, like, specifically, you can get them for you know, to play. Got a gun. That would be interesting to play a freaking Dragon Ball Z game. Oh, that would be fun. Just to play a Dragon Ball Z game, maybe Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, because it's basically a story mode focused game. That would be a good potential, but like I said, I'm trying to focus money to save up for good old TFCon in March. So that's about does it. That's chapter 1 and chapter 2 on hard. I messed up a bit at the end, but I managed to get through it. I do very much enjoy you guys coming out to the stream. Very fun conversations. It's very much nice to get to know you guys more. And Possibly I'll stream again, at least because Chapter 3, 4, 5 is just a boss fight. I did not remember that. Oh, man. Vegeta, best character. Vegeta is like the best character, best written character. But Chapter 5, I'm going to reveal something. I think I'm going to make it so you can't pick Megatron for this chapter. Because possibly people are going to pick... Megatron is going to win for Chapter 4. And then I'm going to play him right into Chapter 5. So... you. But Chapter 3, I'm going to make it so that you can't pick Megatron. They got to pick between Soundwave or... Who was it? Breakdown. So... Because I totally forgot. Chapter 5 was just a boss fight. So... It has been fun talking to you guys. Like, good to, like, understand that. Because my worry was that after I finished through War for Cybertron and For Cybertron, maybe Devastation, maybe Rise of a Darkspark, but, you know, it's nice to know that you guys are interested in other stuff that I could possibly stream. These are the best interpretations of Omega Supreme and Triptychon. Best interpretations. And it's a shame what happened to Omega Supreme and Triptychon. Omega Supreme being left in stasis on Cybertron, and then Triptychon being turned into the Nemesis. Which is unfortunate that they don't pull more into that. When Nemesis becomes alive, it doesn't act like Triptychon. It sounds a little bit like Triptychon, but a little more cohesion, you know? But it's not too bad. But I did enjoy this stream. First stream of the channel. Very much enjoyed all of you guys coming down. But yeah. Tune in next time. Hopefully I will stream Chapter 3, 4, and then 5 next time. Hopefully next week. I'll make sure to get community posts about who to pick. Except Chapter 3 for Megatron. I'm going to put a stop on that, because if I know better, I'm going to be playing Megatron every chapter except Chapter 2. So, alrighty. Oh my goodness. He did those voices too? That's impressive. I do like them. Omega Supreme especially, because it's like 1-to-1 like the G1. Oh, G1 Omega Supreme. So, anyways. Have a good rest of your day, boys. Ladies and gentlemen and sentient beings of all ages.